So I just want to have a quick reminder about the idea of fit. This was discussed in our intro video before Christmas, where we talked about how the student needs to be at the center of the process with the family and the college counselling department supporting. So really, the student is the focus driving things forwards. That's the idea. So the idea of fit is that the student is looking for and finds an institution or a career option that meets academic, emotional, geographic, or geographical, social, and financial needs. So everybody's needs will be different, and it's important to consider those needs rather than just necessarily looking for a brand name or a school based only on reputation. It's very important that thought towards what's most important for the student is considered, because if a student goes to a place and doesn't consider the priorities of which they find most important from their experience itself, then they're less likely to be set up to be successful on the course, and therefore potentially not even convert through to graduate. So it's very important to think about priorities. So when I talk about priorities, these are some examples of things that can be considered to be a student's priority. We've talked about the notion of priorities and best fit already. So I'm going to talk you through how we're going to go about our research, because we've heard so much about this. You need to research, you need to explore, but let's see how that can actually happen. So spend some time thinking about the aspects that are most important to you from your university experience. Please also try to spend some time to discuss those priorities with your college counsellor. Discuss them with your family. Make a list of at least 4 of these priorities and share this with your college counsellor. Okay? Right. So once you've picked your priorities, as I've said, you're putting them into your tracker. This is your tracker. Now, the priorities that I've decided to think about are student support, travel, location and distance, wider life. So, let's talk about what each one is. Student support is things such as your learning, so you may have some learning support needs. You want to check out to see if the student union, what they give in terms of help in financial or mental health support or course materials. Make sure that there are services in place if, for example, you run into difficulties. And in relation to this, if you are an international student, you may want to familiarise yourself with the support at the university and how they may help to integrate you into the student body. So this is the student support. We'll look at places where we can find that in a little while. The next one is travel. So some universities give you, and some courses within certain universities give you the ability to have some kind of travel as part of your course. So you might have a 2+1 program or a 2+2 program where you've got 2 years in one institution and 2 years in a partnership university. Or you might have a university where there's the ability for you to have to be in a new country in each different year of your time studying there. So, for example, there is ESCP Business School, which enables students to have a year in Berlin, year in Warsaw, or Turin, or Paris, or London. Now, you've got Minerva, for example, that is a university that is based in San Francisco, relatively new one, but it allows students to be placed in places such as Buenos Aires, Berlin as well, Seoul, Taipei, and London. So if that is something that is important to you, that gives you the chance to kind of look into that further. Location and distance. You need to think about the ease to go home. Number of connecting flights and how to get there, or the location from a city. Do you want a rural or suburban? A location that you and your family are both comfortable with is a good starting place. A location that might suit your personality will mean that you're more likely and inclined to spend time exploring your surroundings and your surrounding area and make the most of it. And also wider life. You've got extracurricular activities, societies, and athletics. College is also a time to explore new hobbies and passions, develop new passions, and there will be some absolute must-dos that you would also want to continue with. Okay? To your Bridgeu profile. Okay, this is the place where you go to start working out what universities are out there and what universities you want to start investigating more. All right. So the great thing about Bridgeu is it will start to create a list or generate a list based on your preferences, based on how you answered your profile builder. Now, here's the thing. If you have not filled out your profile builder like this so far, okay, then make sure that that's the first thing that you are doing if you do not have any answers to these questions. Because what will happen is the profile builder will help to now, once they're answered, generate a list of universities that are arranged in terms of reach, match, or target, and safety. Now, it's very important to realize that this list is to be used with a caveat. It doesn't mean that all of those that are in the match are definitely matches for you, but it's a good starting place. And how you're going to find out whether or not they truly are well fitted to how well you're getting on academically is by you spending time researching the entry requirements and or the average admission rates to certain places. And that's part of that research process. Now, the next step is for you to now then start reading through some of these universities. So if I was to look at Tulane, for example, I'm able to read about general overview, admissions information, location information. Let's click to show more and learn a little bit more about the location down there. But then also I'll be able to find out more about what courses are on offer at this institution, as well as find out why my match score, because each of these universities give you a preference fit score, why my match score, my preferences, actually says the percentage it does. So apparently Tulane is 88% in alignment with what I would like from a university based on how I answered the profile. All right. So here it just kind of breaks down on the right hand side why that is in terms of kind of the setting of the place, gender of the cohorts, the region, selectivity, subjects, and so on. On the left, you can see a little bit more to do with acceptance rates in relation to my current scores there as well. But again, that's a caveat. The more sources you find this information from, the more well-informed you're going to be as well. So don't only just take Bridgeu's word for it for your acceptance rates here. You can then visit the website like so, and where you can learn more about the given university that you're looking at there as well. So this is the website for Tulane. Now, back to Bridgeu. At this point, I have the option to say, do I discard this because I'm not really interested in it, or do I shortlist it? The idea is that you need to then start shortlisting a range of universities, which then you can start adding to your tracker. So in here on the left, you can see my shortlists. I've got a range of shortlisted universities that now I can start to add into my tracker here on the left. Do remember, the tracker encourages you to think about universities in terms of reach. Notice how there are less reach there than and target. So think about it in terms of reach, target, and safety. More in the target would be ideal. And we also need some safety in there as well. Here we go. Here's Tulane in my shortlist. it indicated that it was a bit of a reach for me based on my grades that I put into the profile builder. So in here, I would then put it into Tulane University in as a reach. And I've filled in my different categories of reach, target, and safety on the left here. So here you can see my list of universities on the left. Now, the next thing to do is to go through each one by one, read more about each different university in turn, as mentioned before, and then start filling that in on the tracker inside here under the various categories. So you're filling in your entry requirements, anything related to the course, tuition fees, and then start looking at those priorities. Now, it's going to be challenging to find all the information on those 4 priorities that are most key to you from only the source of BridgeU. So the next thing to do, once you have added in everything you can find in BridgeU and on their website into the boxes, is to then start to look at these links here on the right hand side. These links, here we have some reviews. We have the FISC's guide and for the UK, Complete University Guide. The next column over, we've got opendays.com, which is for UK universities. You've got UVisit for US. Uni Taster Days is exactly what it says there. Niche.com is great to compare different universities against each other. Unigo, lots of information on those pages. The next 4 universities are for the US. And this at the bottom here is a very good link to an additional document. So click on the tiny URL and you will get to this research document here. This research document can also be accessed on the Schoology pages under the grade 11 page college counselling link. So here we can see that we have got universities from Canada, UK, and the US. Okay, so inside this tracker, you've got all of these universities. There's a long list of them that keeps going on, and they have links that will take you to something called the Complete University Guide for UK universities. So if I was looking for additional numbers, quantitative data, we have some good quantitative data here on things in terms of student satisfaction, graduate prospects and outcomes, and according to what faculty you've got, you can change what we have in here, and that will change the figures and the numbers that you get in here. Information like student support, which was one of my priorities to find out about. So we have information on learning support in here, health services, well-being and mental health support, disability support, bursaries and scholarship links, as well as an array of different things such as facilities. And student life, if you remember, wider life was an important thing for me. So we can learn about what the culture is living in and around this university, the accommodation, what the student union is like. So that links to things such as what clubs and societies there are and how easy it is to get around there and pick up student jobs and so on. So also on this research sheet, you will also find links to other things like housing, virtual tours, YouTube official videos, student city guide, life. This is just for the UK. If you move to the US, you will see links to a different website onto Big Future. So Big Future is like BridgeU for College Board. What that means is there's some information that you'll be able to find on these pages that are specific to that university here. So that comes from this research sheet as well. And also you'll find basic information that's very self-explanatory, distance from a major nearest city, settings, state, size, and so on. other useful links to things such as virtual tours and so on, and useful facilities in and around the area. There's something similar here for Canada as well, if that's a country destination that you're looking at doing. So here I'm going to click on British Columbia, and that will take me to another website that helps to summarize and find more additional information on British Columbia University, UBC, University of British Columbia, UBC. So this is your research sheet. Don't forget, there are other links along here in the tracker for you to use as well. And what this is trying to do is drive you into populating the data here while you are thinking about what's important to you and your experience. Another place you can find information is our very own homegrown Schoology page. So in the Schoology pages, under resources, you'll be able to find university process and resources, exploring options, and in here we have information on each of the various different universities in these different countries. If you go back to resources, go to your grade level resources, go to grade 11 college counselling, grade 11 to-do list, which is very useful read. You'll be able to see priorities in here. Coursera is a task that will support you in further thinking about what's important for you for US universities. A previous video was in there. But again, you can then see that research sheet for UK, US and Canada in here. A tracker in here. Click on here and to get a new tracker. And further information on these pages too.
So that's it then, grade 11. Now you have a task to do. Your task from now moving forward to the end of the advisory session if there's time, and then after the advisory session and continuing after the advisory session, you now need to go into your emails, search J Forrester, F-O-R-R, J-F-O-R-R-E-S-T-E-R in your emails. You will find a document shared with you. That is the tracker document. Open that up, please. Open that up. Keep that open on your browser. And then what I want you to do is, as you're going about using BridgeU to research these universities, as you're going through all of the links in the tracker, as you're using all of the information that I've just shared with you to find information on universities, start to input information into your tracker now, please, guys. Okay, thank you very much and good luck with that task.